What's going on, guys? It's your boy Andy Matrix. I'm back with another video. I got I got an interesting story. Well, I don't know if I should call this a story, but definitely something interesting I found out about Chinese gamers. And I actually didn't know. I actually did not know because I was under the impression that gaming consoles were around the world, especially in China. Now, obviously, China censors everything, and I knew that if the Nintendo Switch goes to China, it will be censored like everything else, right? Because there is such a thing as, like censored PlayStation games. Like, for example, Kingdom Hearts, like Winnie the Pooh in Kingdom Hearts was censored in China. Yes, in China. So I was under the impression that the Chinese people they knew about PlayStation, they knew about Nintendo, they knew about the Xbox, right? All that stuff.
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
But apparently, millions and like hundreds of millions of Chinese are actually not. They don't even know that the PlayStation exists. Let me explain. So I'm actually a teacher. That's actually my new job now. I'm a teacher, and I teach kids from I teach a lot of Chinese kids. I have a bunch of Chinese kids now, and sometimes we talk. Sometimes we talk about the Western lifestyle, the American lifestyle, and the Chinese lifestyle. And I'm a gamer, so I talk about games. So I ask them, "Oh, have you ever heard of like what kind of Nintendo games you play or PlayStation games you play?" And they look at me like, "Huh?" Man, they look at me like, what did you say? And I'm like, yeah, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox. I mean, I'm sure that you guys. Oh, by the way, this is online, so I teach these kids online, right? And yeah, so they're looking at me like, sorry, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't know what that is? And I'm like, you said you're a gamer, right? You play video games. You play, Fortnite and Roblox and RPG games and shooting games. And he's like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, okay, so then you know what a PlayStation is. And they're scratching their head like, no. And so I show them a picture of the PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox. And they're looking at me like, "Oh, okay, I think I have seen those before." And I'm like, "What do you mean you think you've seen it before?" And they're like, "Yeah, like I think I've seen those before, but I've never played it." And I'm like, "You're a game. Wait, so are you just like a PC gamer?" And they're like, "Yeah, I play PC games." And I'm like, "Okay, so I'm sure that maybe one of your friends got like a PlayStation or a Nintendo." And they're like, "No, most of my friends just play PC." And I'm like, "What?" And they say, "Yeah, PC." And I'm like, "Okay." And so now my head is like spinning a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't China like one of the biggest video game markets in the world? And so to sum it up, right? It turns out, the more I speak to these kids, it turns out that the PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, all these things, they exist in China, but they're not big. You know what I mean? They're not like huge, right? They're not huge like they are in America, North America, Europe, Japan, Korea, right? These things are not like huge. They're not in big numbers. Okay, they're not like really popular. So the Chinese, they know that there's such a thing as a PlayStation. It is available in China, but it's not super popular, to say the least. It's there, but in China, people, the way that people game, they mainly just do PC gaming. PC gaming is like the number one way to game in China, right? And they do have services like Steam and Epic Games where you can like buy a game on the internet, download it, and you just play it. right? That's mainly how they buy games. That's mainly how they buy their games. Okay, they don't really, they don't really, they're not console gamers in China. They're not big on console gaming. So that's why the Chinese kids, the Chinese kids, they're looking at me like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Doesn't he? So I'm looking at them like, yo, wait, these people never played a console before? And they looking at me like, bro, like, don't you play on your PC like we do? So then we got like this this really weird thing going on. And yeah, so and then and I just kind of let it go. I just showed them a picture of the PlayStation, Nintendo, and all the popular gaming consoles. And yeah, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. Like the Chinese, they're not big on console gaming. They're big on PC gaming. Which makes me think. It really makes me think a lot because I was under the impression that this for many years I was under the impression that they got access to the same thing that we do, or that they game the same way that we do. But it just turns out that China is a PC gaming nation instead of a console gaming like Japan, America, and all the other countries. But it also shows you like the power of PC. PC is just more convenient. I know that we all want to have physical games. Yes, I know, but PC gaming is just so much more convenient, and it's easier to get access to because most people already have a computer of some kind, whether if it's big, small, work computer, gaming computer, gaming laptop, whatever. So all you gotta do is just download the game, and then that's it. It's just so convenient. That's why PC gaming is growing, in such big numbers, right? But yeah, that's why PC gaming is growing in such great numbers. But in not everybody can afford a PlayStation. People rather buy a laptop where they can do a whole bunch of stuff in, like work, do schoolwork, and all that stuff. Than just buy a gaming console like a PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. People rather spend their money on a PC. And it makes sense. It makes sense because on the PC you can just do a whole bunch of shit. You buy a gaming laptop, and guess what? It's not just for gaming. You can do video editing. You can make YouTube videos. You can do homework. You can work from home. You can do program, do a whole bunch of stuff. Edit pictures. Download software or anything. The computers are powerful, man. Computers are powerful. So that's why it doesn't really pay to, So for in many countries, it's not very convenient to have a gaming console because it's just way too expensive, and it just makes more sense to have a PC because you can do so many things on it. But hey, what do you guys think? Have you met any Chinese gamers? Whatever your thoughts are, comment below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Godspeed, baby.